says, "Where were you, Mike?" He says, "Well, I was just in Madison at a concert. Peter Yarrow, you know, from Peter, Paul, and Mary, who did this concert. All of a sudden, my mother sits on the end of the couch. She says, I can see them. There's 3 of them. They're in Main Street. They're in clown uniforms. It's Peter, Paul, and Mary. They're walking in the middle of Main Street. There they are." And she stopped in the middle of this hallucination and just started laughing and rolled on the couch. Then we were getting worried. We started getting worried. I said, "Mom, I really think you should have a little bit of gin." She said, "Why?" I said, "It'll bring you down." "I kind of like it up here, though." All of a sudden, she looks at this rooster lamp. We had 2 rooster lamps that were sitting on the edge of our couch. The kind of things that are invisible. They've been there for 25 years and you don't even see them. All of a sudden, she looks into the rooster's eye. And she says, "I've always loved these roosters, Chuck. But I always wondered if that rooster could talk. What would it tell me?" "Little red rooster, I am little red rooster, too lazy, hope for days." And my brother Mike says, "You know what the rooster would say, Mom? You're very high." "You're right, I am. And so she finally starts coming down. And she drifts up the stairs to bed. The next morning, we were wondering how she'd be. You know, would she be spaced out? Would she be depressed? We waited for her to come down. She came walking down the stairs mid-morning, high heels, black dress, wide leatherette belt, makeup on, hair done perfectly as always. And we said, "How do you feel, Mom?" She said, "I feel really good. Really good. I kind of feel a little ticklish inside. You know what I mean?" "Yeah, I do, Mom. I know exactly what you mean. But you know what I'd like? I'd really like to hear some music." So I went over the stereo console, this big old one, and I put on the greatest hits of Patsy Cline. I Fall to Pieces. And my mom started gliding all over the living room, her eyes half closed, as the snow was falling outside. Maybe it's just my imagination, but I swear my mom looked younger and lighter that day. Not light enough for me to carry her in my hand, but at ease and beautiful and about as happy as I'd ever seen her as she was gliding and singing, "I fall to pieces each time I call your name." Thank you. I'm going to do a little song here for a good friend named Bob Vassy. You knew Bob? You love Bob. And Bob left us about 6 years ago. Bobby and me, we're walking in a field, thinking about cycles of time. thinking about his dog that died. Bobby and me, walking in a field. Bobby and me, we're riding in his car, listening to rhythm and blues, thinking about traveling far. Bobby and me, riding in his car. We're always making plans, dreaming about what could be. Then life takes a turn, that's what's called our destiny. Bobby and me, we're sitting on a bench, talking about foreign movies, talking about buying some land. Bobby and me, we're sitting on a bench. Bobby and me, we're walking in his barn, thinking about the holy wind, thinking about the sacred friend. Bobby and me, sitting in his barn. We're always making plans, dreaming about what could be. Then life takes a turn, that's what's called our destiny. Bobby and me.